Alright, so hey, I was wanting to do a review of Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. So if you've never heard of this game, it is a Japanese RPG from the creators of Final Fantasy Squaresoft. They teamed up with Disney to create a action role-playing game. The action role-playing game, I mean, it's not turn-based. It's like, you run around and then they show up and you have to start fighting those enemies. And when you fight the enemies, you beat them and then you level up and you're like, ooh, doo, 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 boo. Not really, the Keyblade disappears into the F-roll world, but oh well, it's the same thing. So the story of Kingdom Hearts is Sora, Riku, and Kairi are all friends on this tropical island, and they want to leave, so they create a raft, and on the day that the raft is supposed to go, a storm appears on the islands, and then they get attacked by darkness. Sora obviously freaked out. Riku tries to leave the island via the dark portal, and then Sora gets engulfed in light and comes out with one of these things, the Keyblade. You can then fight darkness. You end up meeting Donald and Goofy, who are after King Mickey, who disappeared shortly after worlds began disappearing, and it's up in the journey to go find them. You can use magic, fight enemies, use summons. The summons are all Disney characters as well, so like you get to fight alongside Simba, Dumbo, the dragon from Mulan. It's all pretty cool stuff like that. The one complaint that I have about the game is that the magic doesn't really work out all that well, but other than that though, the game's fine. Running around, jumping, flying, it all feels really good, and the music is really amazing. Yoko Shinomura does a really good soundtrack for the game. Other than that, though, yeah, the pacing's really good. The way you level up feels really good. The way the stats are all distributed feels really good. You can pick out an item in the beginning that determines your growth. So one of them is like, early you level up easier, but you level up way slower later. And then you level up slowly in the beginning, middle you grow really fast. Then at the end you level up really slowly. And then it's the last one is like late game leveling. It is really easy, so I don't know, just whatever you feel is best. And there's different growth options for each of the different weapons you can choose. So yeah, it's just a really good game. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. The other game on the collection is Chain of Memories, and the Chain of Memories was a Game Boy Advance game, and they used cards for the combat system, which was pretty cool. So it lets you, you could throw out a card, and then if the enemy's card is lower than your card, then they can't attack, and you keep up with that rhythm. It actually made magic work for me in such a way, because I was like, I don't really like the magic, but it's another card that you can use so you can break enemy cards or whatever, so it's pretty neat. And they added in all these new slates for this game, and the slates are, whenever you throw 3 cards together, if they can create some sort of new attack, then it'll create a new attack. One of the really cool things about this collection is that it is the final mixes of the games. So Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, it came with new Keyblades, new enemies, and new locations. We've never gotten out of the West, and it was really cool to be able to see us get that collection here in the West, and to be able to play and fight the Neo Shadows in essentially the best way possible. Because Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of does it a little bit weirdly, because you like show up and you fight them in one area, and that's the only area that you can fight them in. The other really cool thing they added with Final Mix for the HD collection is the ability to do scene skip, and they apparently had to rebuild all the scenes, so the game looks and feels like the PS2 game, but it's all with new textures, so it looks really good. And the way that you know that it's still like the first game is that you jump out a ladder, and Sora doesn't grab it immediately if you don't jump out at just the right angle. So you're kind of like, oh, you old PS2 games, oh, I love you, though. The one really weird thing is that whenever you summons, it lags on the PS3. Same thing with changing floors and opening menus and Chain of Memories. It gets annoying, but it's never like game ruining, if you know what I mean. It's just kind of like, well, that happened. The other thing is that there are the cutscenes from 358 over 2 days. It knows the DS game, but they put the cutscenes together and they let you watch it in the movie. Approximately 2 hours and 45 minutes or so of just the movie, and you get to kind of see the whole story play out, which it's the first game, Chain of Memories, of 358 over 2 days, so it's Sora's journey from beginning to end, and then kind of in the Kingdom Hearts 2, so you get to see Roxas' perspective on everything. And if you don't know who Roxas is, then yeah, you should probably go play some Kingdom Hearts and figure out who he is. I highly recommend these games. The music that Yoko Shinomura puts in there really adds an extra layer to it, and the way that they handle the Disney World is really, really cool. It's got a really slick style to it, and it just feels really good to like play the game, get to experience the world, hear the music, transition straight into battle, and the music, like, it starts out kind of like slow tempo, and then whenever the music for battle kicks in, it just knocks it up a whole beat, and you're like, oh, gosh, that was really cool. Other than that, though, dull and goofy, if you're going to play a game with all your old favorite Disney characters, that's always cool. So I really, really enjoyed it. I highly recommend picking up the collection, because it does feel really good to be able to play those games again, despite the fact that there's a little bit of lag there. But if it's your first time playing it, you'll be kind of like, I don't know, is that normal? But yeah, it's a pretty sweet game, so I highly recommend it, especially with Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue on its way out. I wanted to get a review done for these games to kind of be like, hey, there's a new game coming out. Should probably go check it out. The new game is only on PS4, whereas this game is on PlayStation 3. So if you still have a PS3 line around, if you played it, I highly recommend going out and picking it up, because I really, really liked it. And I thought that the card battles in Chain of Memories added something new to the game, and it also really shows how creative the team is to be able to solve that problem, and to be able to create a new way to battle that is squarely Kingdom Hearts without losing any of the spirit of an RPG and still giving you that strategy that you want out of a game. So yeah, I highly recommend it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, please leave a like and maybe even think about subscribing, and I would love to see you guys in the next one. Bye.